Greetings, beautiful souls. Welcome to our YouTube live Harmonic Convergence 333. As you already know, this is the second part of threes. Anna, Pleiadians, and I will be your host for today. So most of you already know what the Harmonic Convergence is all about. And for those who you are new to this, the original Harmonic Convergence happened on the August 16 to 17 of 1987. It was the first organized, united meditation that took the global turn all around the earth. And we still are living the positive effect from this meditation and from the time when those who join energize the crystal inside of the earth and set the positive intentions for all of us here 30 years later. This year, the Harmonic Convergence is proposed for the August 11, 2018, for a few reasons. The one of them that the planetary alignment is very close to the time of the 1987. And second of all, because we work with the number 3, and number 3 is the Trinity, we are ready to move forward to speed up our transformation a little bit more. And number 3 particles combining together are the catalyst according the ancient teachers, the texts, and the wise people who shared this before us. Now, interestingly enough, I have to add this, and I think I'm adding in every single video because it's absolutely fascinating. When you add August 11, 2018, 8/11/2018, you will simplify this number in the number of 3. It was not such a thing. There is not such a thing as a coincidence. So we did not pick this date particularly. We picked this date according to planetary alignment. And then we realized that it really adds to the number 3, which was this biggest affirmation for Cheryl and me and a few others who were a friend Doug who came with the planetary alignment. So I guess there were 3 of us who really decided that this is the day because it resonated with us. Now, Pleiadians have this idea about what we're supposed to talk about. And last time when I was scheduling this kind of the YouTube live, they wanted to talk about the ancient Atlanteans. And so you may be wondering, what does it really have to do with the ancient Atlantis? What does the Harmonic Convergence to do with the ancient Atlantis? It has a lot to do with it because that is our past. It is the history, and it's something that we're building up upon to. So let's go a little bit back into the past. Before I go into the past, I just want to interject here that the purpose of the Harmonic Convergence is to energize the crystalline grid, or this one big crystal within the earth. It doesn't matter how you imagine it, how you see it in your mind, or what is it you are connecting to. We are all connecting to the crystalline grid, little tiny or the big crystals within the earth. All these crystals are like the memory chip, which are lying within our earth, which could be look as a big computer, and we can program these chips with the unconditional love, or this intelligent energy with the unconditional love. So if our foundation is vibrating, sending the frequency of the unconditional love, we all will be receiving it. And we all will most likely act upon this energy or on this energy of the unconditional love. And our actions may very well change for the better and positive actions. But now we're going to go a little bit back to the ancient Atlantis. So some of you know that I talk about the aliens, a lot about the ancient aliens, since I truly believe in my heart, in my soul, that they were our ancient ancestors. And some of you are very new to this. So those who you are new to this, please learn to make your own opinion about this. Follow what resonates with you and let go what does not. What I say doesn't mean matter that it has to be true or your truth. We all have some kind of the truth that resonates with us and we feel pulled toward to it. So take what works for you and let go what it doesn't. But do not let the fear to discourage you, let's say, in the listening or thinking about it, that there may be something true, that there's something true that is different than what you know. When there's anything that brings you fears, you want to elevate these fears and look at it and question it, truly question it. Why does it bring me the fears or anxiety, or why I feel funny about this? And then you will be able to receive that answer back. Now going to the Atlantis. So when we as extraterrestrials live in Atlantis, our physical bodies were malfunctioning. We talk about this a lot, so many of you are very, very familiar with the concept. First, and it started actually in the Lemuria, first we were trying to figure out how to tweak, how to change our DNA so we can comfortably live on the earth, in the earth realm, as long as we wanted to. And so we tried to use the plants and the plant DNA that we have brought from our other planets that were thriving here on the earth. But it was working just the temporary. It didn't have an effect, and it didn't help us as much as we needed to. So we were utilizing rejuvenation temples. There's a lot of channel material about the rejuvenation temples, which is not something that I only talk about. Rejuvenation temples were places that were, how to explain it? Imagine the healing table, and there's a lot of crystal, the crystalline energy, vibration, sound technology, and all this combined together help to rejuvenate the physical body that you do need in the earth realm to live here. Because if you will be here as an extraterrestrial being only in your light body, in your light, beautiful, fuzzy sphere, let's say, the body, you would not want to stay here for a long time, because this realm does not really have much to offer to you. Why we were coming here and why we wanted to stay here for a while was the goodness of the earth, but also the emotions, the physical feelings, the pleasure of the physical body, experiencing the pleasure through the food and the eating and the emotion and sexuality and so much on. So the earth realm was really high for our spiritual growth and for our physical as well. So we did have a pleasure of both. But for that, we had to work on figuring out how our physical body will work here, how we will not be sick, and how we don't have to always go into the rejuvenation temple. And obviously, the more extraterrestrials live here, the more busy these temples were. There were also some temples on the nearby planet, as the Mars, Maldek, and Venus. And as the later on, they came into malfunction because the Maldek was destroyed. The Mars atmosphere has been totally blown up. And so we were thinking really hard how to change this. Now, we started to experience with the animal DNA and the extraterrestrial DNA. And this was before the primates were used for the human slave experiments. And so first we were practicing with this kind of the animal DNA. You can look at the goddess or goddesses and the deities that we have been depicted from the ancient times, half animal, half man, half woman, and so much on. I can give you very much idea of what kind of the DNA we have used for the extraterrestrials. Again, this was not for the creating the human slaves, but for the extraterrestrials, that they can actually live here in this realm. And so to go on with this, I want to also explain very fast on how it would really relate to today days, or even says, why did they did it? They were not much more sophisticated, and that didn't have a better ideas, or maybe they already have this body that we're depicting in our mind that we're living here absolutely great. And that unfortunately is not true. Imagine that today we are pondering about living on the Mars, and we are, coming up with all kind of the experiments. And if our scientists would have a genetic answers, if they would know how to genetically change, alter, tweak the DNA of the human being that can thrive to live on the Mars, I 100% believe that they would try it, and they would definitely see how far it will humanity take, that those who decided to colonize and live on the Mars will have absolutely changed and tweak and alter the DNA so they can live there. It's a no-brainer. It absolutely makes sense. And so the same thing happened in the Atlantis. Now, here we come to the crystal that leads into the harmonic convergence. So they were starting to working on these experiments, which were not exactly successful in the beginning. I mean, these beings were very well advanced and much more than we are today. Yet they did not really have all answers, everything. And to create something, they really had to create it with the physical hands like we do today. It didn't happen that you wave with one hand and wave with a wand and mix it together and the stuff comes together. It happened in the little battles and experiments and so much on. And there were ups and there were downs. Now, one of the problem was that the soul did not really want to stay within the body. The soul wanted to naturally be connected to the God. Now, when I say God, when Pleiadian says God, they mean the source. They mean the energy of oneness and everything that there is. It's not the one almighty man sitting up there upon the throne and looking at you saying, okay, come home. No, it's the oneness where we all come to, ultimately extraterrestrials or the human beings or whatever you want to call them or call us. We all are naturally pulled toward that realm to go up. And so we were facing a problem. The problem was that the soul did not really want to stay within this half animal, half extraterrestrial body, and I think we were actually passing away quite faster than staying in the extraterrestrial body. And so we needed something that will anchor the soul, that will anchor our energy in the earth. So when you really pull that soul enter the body, or when you tweak your physical body and your soul doesn't say goodbye, I'm not gonna be here in this realm. So we needed to create a what Pleiadians call a surrogate God, and that would be the crystal. You know how they says up above, so below, everything is mirror, and that we live in the place of the duality, so we could actually mirror the energy of the God inside of the earth. So whenever it was one big crystal or the crystalline grid, we figured out how to anchor our energy, how actually, which I think was rather spectacular at the time. It wasn't used, the beginning of it wasn't for any controlling ways, any controlling weird experiments. It was an experiment, but it was a very benevolent experiment. And I think that for the time being, we all were very excited about it. We all were the extraterrestrials back then saying like, yay, we can stay a little bit longer and have it just the fun here. And Pleiadians are Candela just laughing behind me. And anyway, so we came with this crystal. And you can see this crystal as a fertility bank. We put our eggs and the sperms in it. We put our stars, that would be our starseed energy. And we put the animal DNA that we have used there as well. We protected this bank. We protected this crystal. There are depicted stories or the drawings on the ancient tablets where the Atlanteans would pull out the crystal, energize the crystal, bring back the crystal. This crystal was like this gold mine for our energy. We believe that this is only temporary thing. The temporary, we anchor this energy inside. It is the same like you are fishing on the ocean and you just want to stay in one place and you have this heavy anchor. You throw it down there, it anchors to the bottom and your boat just stay anchored up there. And then by the end of your fishing trip or by the end of your day, you take the anchor, roll it back up to the ship and you go back wherever you came from. And so the same was with our design in a really weird way with this crystal, that we anchor our energy temporarily and it worked for us and we can stay here. And when we are done with our experiment, when we are done with living here, then we will take it all back and take it back home. So that's how the crystal was literally born. Of course, the earth was imbued with a crystalline grid. When we came here the first time, we did not create the earth. Extraterrestrials did not create the earth. It was the God's divine creation of all the planets. And the God would be oneness. It would be some energy in the mathematical code and so much on. It wasn't Pleiadians, it wasn't Syrians, Andromedians, or anyone that I personally can name off. That's what Pleiadians share very, very quite fondly about. That they would not take any of this credit for, because that's not what happened. And so here in the Atlantis, our energy was in the crystal, we live our happy little things, but then came the but. Then the things when started to go a little bit the other way than we would like them to go. We underestimated the effect of the animal DNA in the earth realm. The animal wants to survive. Animal thrives on the fears because the fears keep animal alive. And the animal thrives or lives in the lower kind of the energies, lower than the extraterrestrials. So there will be the fear, there would be greed, jealousy, shame, guilt, all whatever you can name, desire, you can name it. It's the lower kind. If just the lower kind of the energy, just the lower kind of the energy. And we started to see that some of these beings who out there, they body in the physical body with the animal DNA became more, and the Pleiadians called the ego possessed. Now, according to ancient texts, we would call eventually the beings the sons of the Belials, and those who stay connected to the true soul energy were the children of the law of one. But make it very, very simple now. So some of them became more ego-possessed. Some of them actually used a little bit more bigger dose of the animal DNA for them, because they really wanted to fully experience the physicality and the physical body. Now, same same rules actually applies even today, that when you want to create something in this world, you need to have a physical energy. And that's same for them. They wanted to mine the gold, they needed to have a physical energy to mine the gold. They wanted to build the houses, they needed to have the physical energy to build the houses, and so much on. So that's why we needed the physical energy, and that's what we have done to alter our DNA. And then, repeating myself, the DNA started to have a side effects. So there started to be this big split. Atlantis stopped to be this paradise that we hope that it's gonna be, and what it was, until the problems will came, and suddenly there was a split between those who became more ego-possessed and those who really work and kept on understanding the animal DNA, to transforming about it, accepting that it's the part of you, but still be connected to the divine and to everything out there and continuing on in a mission. Now, long story short, eventually, those who later on we call in the history Anunnakis, or the creator of the Sumerian civilization, got this great idea. And they would like to create the slaves, the human slaves. That would be just so fantastic. They can do all this kind of the work. Same way like with the, it says like, oh my God, let's make the robots. The robots can do so much of work for us. They can vacuum and clean and God know what, right? And so that's what it was. It was denied. It wasn't approved at all. But the earth was a big place, and they kind of like hid in places, and these extraterrestrials started to migrate to the other places, and they did their own little experiments. What happened is that Anunnaki eventually created the human slaves, and they, used the primates to creating the slaves. And according to the story, it is that they gave this, the seed of the DNA, and they, the Anunnaki woman would carry the baby and the human would be born. Well, what the story doesn't tell is that there was a huge malfunction as well. All these Anunnakis, they already were in quite an ego-possessed energy. And intersect here. The Anunnakis were just the extraterrestrial beings from various planets. You would be really surprised. And they just were possessed by this animal DNA, and they suddenly, were in this low kind of the mind and the energy, as many humans are today. They would just think, how to make their life better, and don't think how it's going to affect the others. Again, they were not much different than we are today, how we live in our society. And so creating the human beings, their own DNA was not really working. In the first batch, they create these angry beings that they have to terminate right away. And so what they did, the genius idea they got, is to steal the DNA from the crystal. And here we go again with the crystal. So they took the crystalline energy. It's like going to the fertility bank, stealing the eggs and the sperms, creating lots of babies that are yours and not theirs, and making these human slaves. And since the big flood, we all are coming back into these bodies that were created from the stolen DNA from the crystal. Now, this crystal holds our energy. This crystal holds everything that we know, and that we are from. And so when it was in the decision, terminate the project or letting the humans be, that it was the Enki who wanted to give the knowledge so the humans can, to grow. And there were a lot of others behind him, especially from the Egypt. And there was an Enlil who says, like, whatever, we can just terminate them and let them go. And it was decided that the humans get a fair chance to survive and gain the knowledge, and that they can ascend, or they can grow in their spirituality, in their transformation. They can go back and join their soul families. So whenever in this lifetime you came from the stars, you have lived somewhere else many lifetimes, and are here, through this Lemurian, the Atlanteans, and so much on, and are here to fixing the problems that we all started. Or are you the one of them who was created and born here, and your family is extraterrestrial family? We all have a chance to go back home when we heal and when we do what we have to do here, when we, I would say, fulfill our mission that we agreed to do so. So energizing the crystal with the unconditional love, it's for our highest interests, because it will help our soul energy to grow fast and really learn who we are and where is our potential to go. We cannot leave this realm unless we realize of where do we belong to, who are we, how do we change. Nobody wants us out there if we are in a wild animal energy, because we are not safe to each other, we are not safe to them. And so we have to learn. You may wonder, why just they didn't go and just terminated the crystal and freed all souls. Well, where would the souls go? They would be very much stuck in the trap in the second dimensional energy or somewhere else. They would not be strong enough to go and elevate, to go up there to the God's house or to these other planets. They would still have to go through the realms that perhaps are much more difficult than the realm on Earth. I mean, we can judge only here because, here we are and we're saying, how difficult life here is, how it's this and that, but we don't really know to compare what other choices we had than staying here and learn and make it work here. So the purpose of keep re-energizing the crystal with our energy, with unconditional love, is to give all ourselves a chance to elevate, to ascend, to grow before the ascent. And you can energize the crystal with a negative energy, of course. It can take a very negative term on the earth. I do think that this negative, energy, or those ego-possessed beings have a very same knowledge as we have a knowledge to energize the crystal. So perhaps there is a little a little raised to the crystal, and we says, who's gonna win? Because that is really the question since after Atlantis, who is going to win? Is there gonna be a dark side? Is there gonna be a light side? Are we brave enough to unite and do this together and put our differences aside, which is actually a very desirable idea. And that's what it is. So anyway, let's see if you guys having a question here. You are quite fine here. So that is the sharing of the ancient Atlantis, what Pleiadians wanted to share with you today. And the answer to the questions, why do we energizing the crystal? Because the crystal holds your original energy. So you are literally re-energizing very much your own energy or your soul family energy. And the more unconditional love you send that, the more it bounces back to you. It goes as a torus. It goes to your soul family up into the universe, comes as a torus, literally hug the whole earth, go through the center of the earth, coming to you, and so much on. You are opening your ancient lines, your axiotonal line, as we do in the DNA activations. You are opening a communication within your energy between the past, which will be all the way down to the Atlantis, and up into the future to your soul family, to your whole planet, and start learn to be guided. So there is this one event that we're gonna do in the August, but another step is to work with your energy. If you are working with your energy, it's like this figure 8 of the infinity. The when it crosses in the middle, that's your current life. That's where you are right now. That's the physicality that we really desired in the Atlantis. All the way to the left is your past. All the way to the right is your future. Now, the more you figure it out of your past, you can learn and you can heal it. The healing comes by the forgiveness. It is so simple. Whatever you remember, whatever happened, whenever it happened 1 hour ago or 100,000 years ago, you do forgive. You realize your mistake, what you have done right, or what you have done wrong. And then you can say, okay, this I have done wrong. It's okay. I forgive myself and I ask the others are forgiven to me. If somebody have done anything to you, you can say, okay, I choose to forgive, because how long am I going to hold it within me? If I can remember it's still 100,000 years back, then let's forgive it. And all this comes in your present time, and then it bounces into the future. The more you forgive, the more you get yourself into the future, and your future self doesn't really take you on this trip, which would be kind of cool, but it's going to give you ideas of what does future need, what is it that you can create, what is it your collective energy can create, your group, doesn't matter if it's the individual, 2-3 people together, a whole big collective group. We all start getting these ideas of what it is good for the future. If we energize the grid with unconditional love, how does the future change? Because the future is not set in the stone. It can change according how our energy change. So, the saying, if you want to change anything, you have to change first yourself. So this work on the same similar way. And the last word I'm going to have at what the Atlantis is, that I would ask all of you to forgive. If the story is true, that the Anunnakis stole the energy of the crystal, stole the DNA from the crystal, then obviously we were really angry with them. Everybody who would be on the path of the light were really angry because it got us stuck here for thousands and thousands of years, because we were not willing to terminate to humanity, because we couldn't. And it's time to forgive. If we want to heal it, we have to forgive, so we can eventually take the anchor out and go back home. I think that really comes on a very individual basis, and I'm sure I'm gonna share much more about it, how to take your energy out of the anchor, or this anchor energy, that sounds right English. Take your anger and carry it back home, up to the, let's say, Pleiades or wherever it is that you came from. So with this, let's embark on the meditation. allow planets to take us wherever it is appropriate to take us. I have a feeling we may go to the Atlantis and do the forgiveness. And let's move forward. All these sessions are designed to prepare your energy for the August 11. The more lighter you are, the more you shed of your hunger, of your past, the more powerful your soul energy is, because then you truly are the beam of the unconditional love and not just holding some grudges that happened here and there, because things happen on earth and things have to be healed on earth. All right, guys, so if you are ready, whenever you're following me today or you're watching the rerun at your home, just doesn't matter. You make yourself comfortable. You can sit in a chair, feel comfortable. You can lie down. I close my eyes as always. And let's join in this together. Take a deep breath in. And release all the air out. Take another deep breath in. And let go of all your worries and all your expectations. One more deep breath in. And let everything go. Relax your feet. Relax your belly. Your hips, your back. Relax your arms and your chest. And your neck. If there's any tension, just breathe it out. If you need to give yourself a quick massage, just do it. Your neck and your head. Just let it all out. And we call upon the highest available energy of God, of the source, to connect with us. And we call upon our highest self to connect with our energy and fill us with the unconditional love. The beautiful frequency of the unconditional love streams into the full body, your arms and your legs, going all the way down into the earth. And you can repeat after me. I claim my body, my vessel, as a source of the divine unconditional love from the God and from my highest self. And I send the unconditional love to all the spirits and the attachment and negative energy that may possibly be attached to me. If there's any, I'm sending them unconditional love, and I call upon the family of the light to escort them to the most appropriate places. Telamonti kahala sa tieniaka ti yu sioniakia. Te vocale assianiati. Te la venti a cala son ti anasia. Ti ha ki aneate. Te la vonti uniesa ne kea hasa. Alright, and we open our energy. And beautiful golden energy comes from the Atlantis, from the center of the earth. Enter the bellow of your feet. Open your Earth Star Chakra. Going to the bottom of your feet, in your soles, in your ankles and the knees. All the way up in your hips. Opening your first red chakra. Lia Santi and Niaha Se. Niaka Lia Soni. Going up into the second orange center. Opening up wide. Kion te la Santi Aniasa. Lavon ti you Aniasa. Going up into the yellow stomach center, opening wide. Elea Santi Unia Kala Sati. Elavon to you Anisa, going up into the heart, green center, opening wide. Asion to you Nia Kiatea, Siavon, Helia Sianiate. Going up into the throat, light blue center, opening wide. Telon you Nia Kia, Helia Santia Nia So. Up into the third eye, opening wide. Tawom Tia Casa. Elava Nia Tia. Up on the top of your head, violet center, opening wide. Elian Siun Tia Kata. Elia Nia Nia Kia. And going up and up and up, expanding. Going to your soul star chakra, opening wide. Elian Siun Tia Ka. Now your energy is fully extended and open. And if there's anything that no longer serves you in the positive way, you can ask to release it now. So there's this big magnet that goes from your feet, passing by each chakra, the red and the orange and the yellow, and the green and the light blue and the dark blue and the violet, going all the way up. If there's anything that no longer serves you in a positive way, allow yourself to let it go. See you anikiaha. Kiana see you allow. Yakom to you aniasa. Lakas yonia kasi. Yakasavone. Alright, now we're gonna travel inside of the earth. I want you to focus on the energy of your stomach, your third chakra, going down your orange, your second, down your first chakra, through your legs, going all the way down inside of the earth. It's like this energy cord that's going down with you. And we will travel inside of the earth until we reach the cave that holds the ancient Atlantean crystal. Telaunt yutun ti kiaha sa. Tavo aniena sanata. Tiom tela san yukiahate tela siun tiena. When you arrive into the cave, go toward the crystal. If there is any healing that you require this time, put your hands on this crystal and ask for the healing of your particular thing that you need. If it's your liver, ask for the healing of the liver. If it's the heart, ask for the healing of the heart. Ask for anything that you need to heal in your physical body. Asom tiene a casa. Tialasa. Now let the energy expand in your chest. And let the energy go into the part of your body that you ask for the healings to. It's gonna go through your heart and it's gonna go into the part of your body that you ask for the healing. Telea sinia kiaha tea salian tiunia kiate. Tela siun tiena siakan tiala siuaniaki. Tiava siania kiala se. Pelavion tiu alasa. Tilava siuni kiate asa. Elevation to another. Okay. And now I want you to think about a day when we learn that it's going to be difficult to remove our energy from these crystals because Anunnaki has stolen this energy and use it for their own experiments to create human beings. Now put your hand on your heart chakra and think of the forgiveness. I forgive you that you could not be the way as I needed you to be. I forgive you, Anunnakis, that you could not have been the way as I needed you to be. I forgive you for stealing our energy. And you forgive yourself. I forgive myself for putting my energy in this crystal. I forgive myself and I forgive others. Now feel the energy of forgiveness in your whole body. Your whole body is vibrating now, your feet, your hands. It's getting higher with the vibrations. It's not only the saying the forgiveness, it's meaning it and feeling it within your body that it takes effectiveness. And now send the unconditional love to this crystal. I feel you, crystal, with the most divine, unconditional love. And you spend a little time here. Kiane siana talasa. Elia siu anasia. Telansium tianeakea sianum tiu alasia. Eleva siu anea. Iha siu anasa. Okay. I send a love and light to this crystal. And we send a love and light toward your body, toward your own creation. Feel yourself in unconditional love. And slowly, 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 walk back from this cave. And very slowly, keep returning back in your body with the joy and happiness within you. You can do this. You go back in your body. And you feel lighter, release. Because you let go of the ancient anger and hurt and unfairness. And now the job is to find a happiness in your life, on your mission. We put the golden light around you and we thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone who joined with us today. Telon tiana siu ala atiala. And very slowly, you come back into the body, very, very slowly. Stretch your arms and stretch your legs. Very slowly come back into this world. And just to look around you and be grateful for where you are today. Be grateful of living in the 21st century, figuring out all these ancient things and learning how to work with this energy. You are closer to go back home than you have ever been in the several thousands of years. Whatever comes through the day, let go of your anger. There can be a little things that can trigger us, a little silly things, and we can feel like a stubborn little children that we don't want to do something, and then sit back within and says, well, do I really want to be that way? And then we all are like that. And then find the unconditional love and find the joy and happiness. Go in your child kid-like energy and dance and laugh at the silly things, even at the life when it shows you the hard things. And find the happiness, because happiness will enlighten you. It will sort of kind of, lift up your spirit a little bit, and you are more willing or more easily you will see that guidance from your future selves that comes to you. So this is what I wanted to share with you today about the harmonic convergence and the connection to the ancient Atlanteans. Everything is connected and interconnected and weaved beautifully, beautifully together. And it's really up to us to decipher all of this and find our way home and find a way what we can live here, how we can energize the earth grid. So let's say the next 30 years it's going to be happening more as we want than to be just thrown from the one wall to the another. So I want to thank you, all of you who joined with us today, as such as very few of you at the chat room that I'm looking right now. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Dot from Us, and Dancing Moon Eyes. And I know I haven't seen all of you. Thank you, Tom, for the for monitoring our chat and sharing with everybody what we are doing. And guys, if you follow us, please follow us on the Facebook. We have a group, Harmonic Convergence 333. It is the group that support one another. We are not really looking or allowing negativity to spread into the group, and we do have a rules. If you feel guided, please join us. If you don't, just follow all these YouTube videos or mark down the August 11, 2018 and create your very own event. Invite the friends or do it by yourself. It doesn't matter how you're gonna do it, as long as you spend a day a little time at 1:11 for the 12 minutes. That's what we're gonna do of your current time when you leave, and send that unconditional love to other great, because it matters. On the day you can do anything, on the day you step out of your ordinary and you step into extraordinary, you take your secret superhero cape out of your closet and you can be anyone you want to be, because what you do matter. What you do matter. What you do matter. And I leave you with that. Thank you so much for joining me today. Love and light from my heart to yours, and I will see you next month on the 11th, which will be the July at the 11th, at the same time, at the same place. And we're going to talk about the inner earth beings and, of course, extraterrestrial. It's my passion. So for all of you who likes that topic as well, please join me. And if you have any questions, write it down, post them, write them in the chat, and we're going to go over them, okay? All right, guys. Have a beautiful summer, and down to Australia, have a wonderful winter. I love you.